probably about 2 weeks later, was the missions fair. And so we go into this room that is just full, just teeming with activity and people leading ministries and leading missions and all these opportunities. And we made this connection with Bill and Diane Savage at the Water Africa booth. And just lightheartedly they said, well, you should come with us. And we both looked at each other and said, you know, I think maybe we will.
In the fall of 2006, shortly after we arrived, Bob Sanders talked about a trip that he'd had to Zambia, and he shared about time spent at an AIDS hospice. He talked about going in and seeing the men and then the women and the children, and then he talked about going in and actually seeing the infants. And as he shared that, he started to tear up, and I was tearing up as well. So it was a very meaningful moment for me, and in the fall of 2007, or summer of 2007, I had the opportunity to travel to Zambia and to go to that same orphanage. And so to be able to do that was a life-changing event for me. And while we were inside the orphanage, we were wearing our crosses that we were given. And one of our Go Team members leaned over a crib to pay attention to an infant in the crib suffering from AIDS. And the infant raised his hand up and grabbed a hold of the cross. And it was a very emotional moment for me because it was very clear that the only thing we had to offer these children was the hope of the cross. And the only thing that could save them was the hope of the cross.
I have had the pleasure of being able to get involved with the Senegal ministry about 8 years ago. Maybe it was my first trip, and went on 2 more trips after that. Josh also went on a couple of trips. So that ministry has just really impacted each of us, and by extension our kids, and them seeing and hearing, coming to the presentations and just hearing what the things that we talk about because of our involvement with that ministry, and how it's just really been an education in partnership with World Vision.
I mean, I've been down on both San Francisco mission trips the last 2 years, so 2014 and 2013. And I remember 2 years ago when I was down there, this was my freshman year, middle of the week, I just walk into one of the rooms at the rescue mission and, hey, there's Bob. What's Bob doing here? He'd come down for 2 days just to say hi, make sure things were going well. And he was happier than ever to be there, take time out of his break, I guess, to come down to San Francisco, to the middle of San Francisco, to be with a bunch of high school students. And to me, that was just so cool. It really showed me how much he cares about the ministry that we do in this church.
And then also given me personally an opportunity to travel to a number of places with you that have broken my heart but filled it with God's love and presence, and given me really a global view. So thank you for your love for missions and your love for the people of the world that has been really translated into my life.
I have yet to see someone go on mission and not come back fundamentally changed. I have not seen someone not come back more full of energy and vigor for the Lord. There's an entire generation of children, now young adults, who've grown up in this church with the understanding that reaching out to the least and the lost is an entirely normal and natural and expected thing to do, my children included. We have you to thank for that.